What happened?
That's so cool. Yeah, we met the fishermen that are my dad's friend from 30 something years ago, and we even end up with fish.
I'm Roberta.
And I'm Duca.
And together we are on the mission of bringing this sailboat that was neglected for over 22 years back to life.
So don't forget to subscribe and to join us every Monday for a new episode.
After a whole day organizing the house and trying to install
The chart plotter, I mean not just the chart plotter, also the radar, because the problem is when we install the mess, we needed to cut the radar cable. That means I need to create a new cable with just the wires, and I managed to crimp this terminal and I have everything ready now. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll have a chart plotter working with a radar.
This is great. While Duke is finishing installing this part, I'm gonna show you the sunset. Look at this. So beautiful.
Supposedly it's done. Nice. See you guys tomorrow.
See you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. While some work on the computer, others, me, work outside. Today is finally the day we're gonna put the chart plotter in place. We need to fix this. So that's the next step. It's exciting. I hear some noise.
Seems like we have a TV here.
It's made for here. Except
Oh,
we have a chart. It shows where we are.
the location is perfect. I can read everything from here. Okay, as you can see, it's working now.
And,
we are gonna learn how to use
Yeah,
it.
I need some time to navigate and to, organize things, and then we're gonna show you everything working. Today is about time for me to start installing these in place in a way that's safe to go sailing, because we're about to start sailing north, finally. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but when we installed this in place, there was 4 screws that help to hold this in place. So we need these screws to make sure this won't move, because right now it moves. And I luckily found in a store this week something that's gonna fix perfectly this. Let me explain you how this works. Now it's gonna be easier to understand. So this screw is hollow. There is a hole on the middle. So I used to have a 6 millimeters pin, just like this one, this screw here, that helps to hold in place the wind vane. And after 20 something years it was welded completed, because stainless steel with aluminum, no good. So what I did, I create a bigger hole with bigger threads. This is 6 millimeters, this is 8 millimeters, but inside of this it's 6 millimeters. So that means I can still use 6 millimeters inside of this one. But now I'm gonna wait for the Sikaflex to dry, because I apply Sikaflex just in order to create a protection bound in between both materials. Let's get going. Check this out. Now this is really strong, so the wind vane is already installed in place. Of course I forgot something. This little piece needs to be locked on the bottom with one of these. I think I just came up with a solution for one of the problems of the wind vane. So I found this on the boat, and the idea is to slide this here. This is gonna make sense. Seems like it's gonna work, I think. I mean, we need to try to see if it works. We're gonna try today. Roberta is not feeling that well today, so she decided to stay in the computer and work on the computer while I do this, but seems good. Just amazing. So while I wait for the Sikaflex to dry a little bit better, before I screw the final 4 screws on the wind vane, I have something I wanna show you that's really cool. It's been a long time. We've been wanting to install a jibe preventer. It's just a way of jibing easier and safer. And the reason why we didn't do that before was because the dinghy was sitting here, as you guys know, and the dinghy is gonna still sit here. And also we didn't have the boom vane. And now we realize that actually the boom vane fits, you guys know that already. And with the boom vane in place, that means there is also space for the preventer. It's a really simple one that's called Tech Right. I don't know if it works well. I have no idea. We just bought because it was the cheapest one we could find and the smallest one to bring when we went to the boat show in Miami last year, and we could not bring too many stuffs because of customs, you know. Taxes in Brazil are really expensive. The way it's installed, I have this preventer line that is on the tow rail right there, and then goes to the preventer, and then to a block, and from the block I'm bringing all the way to this clip. That means I can control this preventer from the cockpit, all the way from the block to here. So if I go all the way here, for example, and now I decide to jibe, it's just gonna slow down the jibe. That means it's not gonna be a really tough jibe, it's gonna be like a soft jibe. So now it comes, but it comes slow, see? And the reason for that is because this preventer has a lot of friction in order to slide this. So this friction helps to slow down the boom, and even if I want even more slow, I put through this last pin here. So I do like 3 turns, and then it's gonna be even slower, depending on the amount of wind you have. If you have a lot of wind, you want really slow. If you don't have much wind, you don't want that slow. That's pretty good. One last thing on the list, and it's gonna be safer to jibe now, because a lot of people have been concerned with our sheet being on the top of the arch. I mean, some people even said it's on the top of the bimini. That's not true. The bimini is just something hanging on this arch. This arch is solid, and it's bolted by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 huge bolts on each side to a solid piece of metal that's welded to the hull. So that means these won't go anywhere. The only reason we have the preventer is because we don't want a jibe, like, you know, there's no need to put stress on the rigging if we don't need to. And also in the future, if we feel like, we can still put a stay. We have a ring here that was welded for that already. We can have a stay coming from here to the hull of the boat. If we do that, then it's 150% safe. We believe we don't need, so for now we're gonna leave as it is, but with time, if we feel like we need, we're just gonna stay the arch. One more thing off the list. Let's go back. Now it's official. Last task is to create a tag so we know which one of the breakers are for the radar. Temporarily, yeah. This entire panel is not final. This is final. This is not final. So temporarily we have just, like, you know, a little masking tape saying radar. So now you turn all of them on and let's check. I want to see the radar working. Autopilot, the whole thing. We're gonna start slowly going north. The goal is to get sometime this year in Rio de Janeiro. Everyone knows Rio. Finally. So at some point we're gonna make to Rio. I don't know how long it's gonna take. We're just gonna slowly make our way north, stopping everywhere we feel like we want to stop.
Everywhere.
We have a sharp plotter. There's one thing we didn't manage to make it work yet. We have a controller for the chart plotter on the helm, and that's not, I don't know, it's not recognizing on the NEMEA 2000 network. I don't know why.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can control here.
Yeah, I do.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, we didn't tell you. In 2 days we're leaving, and Ivan, our friend from Insula, that boat right there, he's gonna go on the first crossing with us. It's just like a 40 miles crossing. The reason why he wants to go is because he wants to see odd in really strong winds, and supposedly it's gonna be a really strong cold front, so we might get like 30 knots of wind. Supposedly, we never know, that's just forecast. So we're gonna have like 40 miles of, you know, fun. So here's the chart plotter working.
You mean chart?
Chart. Now let's see the radar. Radar. Ta-da! We do have a radar now. That's pretty cool. It's the first radar we have, so we are not used to read the radar. Yeah, but now we need to get things ready because the boat needs to get ready to move, because it's been over a week we don't move.
I spent the whole week editing and making subtitles and Duca working around, so the boat's a mess.
Yeah, I'm not that organized sometimes.
No.
No, happens. See you guys later.
See you. We are moving after 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, in the same place for 2 good reasons. We need to fill up our water tank, and also we want to try
the wind vane. Maybe we'll see. I don't know if we're gonna have wind enough, but we're just gonna put in place to see how it moves and what happens. Let's try. And the water tank is mostly because of ballast. We are gonna go on a crossing tomorrow, and supposedly we're gonna have really strong south wind, and we feel more comfortable with the full water tank. So that's the reason why we're gonna motor to the next bay. There is a dock where the schooners, like tourism schooners, stop.
They're gonna see it, babe. Yeah. They're gonna see it. You don't need to explain it. Oh, the thing is full of water. It was raining a lot during the night. It's going inside pretty well.
And it's already trying to work. Check this out. It's so funny.
Are you curious how it works? Me too.
I'm really curious. In theory, I never used it before, but in theory, you have a vane here, a wooden vane, that you need to keep flat, like straight up. But if you get out of course, the wind is gonna hit sideways and it's gonna flap the vane like this. And when it does that, it's gonna twist the rudder. And when it twists the rudder, the ocean current is gonna take the rudder to the side. And when that happens, this line or this line is gonna be pulled, and when that happens, check this out.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah. So basically, when this line is pulled, it corrects the rudder through the tiller, and when that happens, the rudder comes back to the position, to the center position, and then the vane is straight on the center position, and until that happens again, and then just keep going back and forth, and you keep a track, like an angle with the wind. That's magical. For me, that's magical. No batteries, just like mechanical. We'll see. Let's go for a ride and see if that. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see. And now another test. We are gonna test the automatic autopilot, the electronic one.
Yeah, the good thing about having a wind vane and an autopilot electronic one is that whenever you have strong winds, you can rely on that. Whenever the wind's light, you can rely on this. It's quiet, kids.
And when you use the electronic autopilot with light winds, you don't spend much energy. It's pretty good. Pretty good. What's this song? Low boost speed.
Yeah. The thing is, we should have the entire main up. We just want to try the second reef to check how small it is and how good it is to maneuver, because tomorrow we're only gonna sail with second reef, maybe the third reef, because tomorrow the cold front is gonna be strong, and today basically is the test drive for tomorrow's mission. Tomorrow's mission is to sail 40 miles north, and this way is gonna be different because we are not coming back for a while. We are starting making our way north, and that's so cool. I'm really excited because from this spot on, it's always new anchors that we never been to. We want to see places that we never seen before. I think it's gonna be much more exciting for us, even though we love our hometown. We've been here for way too long.
And you know, farther north you go, warmer it is.
And the water is gonna be much cleaner. We can, you know, go swim every day. That's gonna be
in our hometown. The water now it's cold.
No, right now it's just cold. We don't feel like swimming at all. We just wanna, you know, go to warm weather, wear less jackets, pants, and boots, and
no hats.
No hats. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
And take showers outside. That would be great.
Awesome. That's so cool. The wind picking it up. We have some wind now, and the wind vane seems like it's working.
It seems to be correcting by itself.
That's so cool. The sail start flapping a little bit, and the wind vane just right back in course.
We did it.
I've been dreaming with a wind vane for at least, I would say, 8 to 9 years. I discovered wind vanes by reading books, and I read a book about Amir Klink, one of Amir Klink's books, that tells the first time he went to Antarctica. Amir Klink, like, he'd been sailing for over 30 something years. He crossed even before sailing, he crossed the Atlantic by rowing in a small rowing boat, and he's really experienced. And the first time he came, he went to Antarctica. He was in a big ship, and then he met the boat, his dream boat, with a French couple who in Antarctica, and he started becoming friends with them, and they invited him to come on board and to stay with them. So he jumped ship and went to the small boat and came back with the small boat. And the fun fact is, this wind vane, I'm pretty sure, is the exact one that was on that boat when he crossed the Drake for the first time. Was using this specific one because this sailor is a good friend of the former owner of our boat, and he gave his old wind vane to him as a gift, and that's the one. And actually, it's working, I can tell now.
Yeah, it is. It's keeping course. Even though the dinghy is not on the top of the companionway, I can see a thing there.
Yeah, that's another thing. We've been receiving so many messages saying we need to have a bench for Roberto here. We will have in the future. It's just like we have so many things to do, and life on the anchor is so different to life on the boatyard. It's not as easy to do. Any small project becomes a huge project.
And as we have autopilots in plural now, I can stay in other places, like here.
It's time to do Instagram stories because we need to tell the world that we have a wind vane. If you want to see real-time update on what we do, we are starting to use more and more Instagram. So just follow us on Instagram. Be nice. Just check what we are doing day by day, because on Instagram we always post like the day it happens.
We are arriving the dock to fill the water tank for the first time since we left the marina.
And it's been 2 months I don't maneuver this boat on a dock, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But
I'm not sure if we can film it properly, but we are nervous about this because we need to maneuver it. There.
Yeah, at least here is really protected from the wind because there is like 20 knots of wind right now, but here is really protected, so it's gonna be fine.
It's 20 outside, here inside 7 right now.
Yeah.
So we are gonna try to park on the dock there to fill the water tank with the waterfall water. We made it, and the good thing is that the rain stopped right in time. I'm so happy we made it.
That's so cool. That was a really cool mission. This is my childhood beach right here.
I think we can start putting some water inside the boat and then we can show the surrounds. What do you think?
That's a good idea because
it's gonna take 1 hour.
Maybe even more.
Oh, there's a bird there swimming. It's so cool to be here. I think this is the faucet. Before we keep going, I want to welcome on board our new patrons for this week. So, welcome on board Greg, Chris, Robert, Rick, John, and Daniel. And I also want to thank Ed and Anna for the donation through our PayPal. And Ed, thanks a lot for the pretzels.
The first water we always just let go. Good?
I think so.
This water is from the waterfall, so we need to treat a little bit. We filter first and then we put a little bit of chlorine. The last time we filled the tank was 2 months ago. That means this water can be bad in 2 months, so we need to put a little bit of treatment.
I'm always afraid of losing this lead. Now we wait 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour later you're gonna be full. We're gonna be 100% full. But in between, like every, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we put a little bit of chlorine just to treat the water. So now I want to show you around. Yeah, every year, like for, I don't know, at least 5-6 years, we would come, my family, and spend 1 month on that house right there. And the reason for that is because the owner of the house used to work with my dad, so on his vacations he would always rent this guy's house. Here a lot of Argentinians come actually, because all the schooners, they stop here during lunch to have lunch at this restaurant and at that restaurant, and then they just drive around and just see dolphins, because here's the Dolphins Bay, and we would come every year, and that's so cool. I used to dive from that rock right there all around. Yeah, I cut myself many times on that rocks, many times. It's weird to see out here. Just I'm not used to it yet. It's so crazy that we can get so close from the beach. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
People must think we are crazy, because if they don't know we have a centerboard, how can they explain that?
Here we have Odd, and here Lucas' childhood house.
It was a little bit different.
It's almost like living in a boat, right?
Yeah, it's almost living in a boat. I don't know who said that orange wasn't a good color. That's just like so contrasting. It's perfect. The color is just amazing. I love it.
Me
Love it,
too.
love it.
I set up an alarm and now it's been 10 minutes that the tank is being filled with water and we are gonna put the second lid of chlorine. What happened?
That's so cool. Yeah, we met the fishermen that are my dad's friend from 30-something years ago, and we even end up with fish. They just got this fish and we got as a gift some fresh fish. We're gonna go back, invite Ivan to cook some fish.
To clean the fish.
Yeah, I'm gonna invite Ivan to clean the fish. I'm not that good at cleaning fish.
No, we are learning because it's been
It's
years. I used to fish in my grandparents' farm, but
you can tell, farm.
freshwater fish, so
the same thing.
I really don't know how to clean the saltwater ones. I really need to learn it.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
So what happened when you came here to get the plastic bag?
Someone forgot to open the valve of the sink and we almost sink because I came here just to get the bag because they offer us fish and the water was just like filling the sink already.
Yeah, we have a vent for the water tank on the sink, and in Guarujá we used to fill the water tank in like 1 hour, but here the pressure of the water is
How long
so
did it take?
good. Let me check.
Yeah, but the pressure here is much stronger.
40 minutes.
That's pretty good. That's it.
Thanks.
We have 2 months of water now. 2 months. We want to use this quicker because this is waterfall water. We don't want the water to stay on the tank for too long. So let's hope we can get somewhere we can fill up the tank soon.
Mission accomplished. Time to go.
We did it! We did it! I was kind of nervous to come here, you never
I
know. First time we stopped in a different dock that no one comes often because this is supposedly from the schooners, the tourism schooners. Thank you guys, we really appreciate the water. And our friends that live aboard, they come here sometimes and they said, you can go, it's fine. It's all good, but it's been like, I don't know, 25, 30 years I've been on this dock. It was a different one probably.
The fish is here. And we are going.
We are off! Now we can start sailing north. That was the last thing we need to do before we start sailing north. Now we have full tanks, we can just set sail. That's pretty good.
We now have breaking news.
Welcome to Odd Life Crafting News from the future.
Yeah. On today's news, today is really up to date. We are recording this 2 days before you watch. We just come to tell you that we have good news. I don't know if you guys watch it, but last week we recorded a podcast, a really important podcast, as you can tell. I don't know if you recognize, but these are the jackets from the New York Stock Exchange. That's fancy. Yeah. So last week we went to visit the New York Stock Exchange. We had an interview with them about Odd Life Crafting. So if you didn't watch yet, we're gonna leave on the first comment of this video and also in the description of this video the link for the podcast. I think it's really fun.
Hope you like it.
Hope you like it. We'll see you next week when we finally start sailing north. And actually, next week is gonna be a nice one because it was the first really strong wind with Odd.
Can't wait to share
Yeah,
this
that was
with
really
you.
strong winds. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Next week.
next week.